by-election because I have the experience and the knowledge to jump right in and get to work. No need for learning curve. I've been involved in education in Langley for 25 years, most of that as a volunteer on PACS and DPAC, and 2 terms as a school trustee. I've been involved in numerous education committees, workshops, forums, focus groups at the district and the provincial level, including a parent rep on accreditation and district review teams. I have a master's degree in early childhood education and bachelor's degree in psychology and business administration certificate. Equally important, I bring an objective, reasonable, and positive voice to the board table. The priorities for the next 11 months are clear. The board has to implement the recommendations set out in the Auditor General's report. An action plan addressing all 3 areas of concern, governance, internal control, and long-term planning, is in place. It's been endorsed by all the trustees, and I support that plan. The Auditor General's report identifies trustees working effectively with each other and with staff as the most important recommendation. This requires a clear understanding of what the role of the board is. The role and mandate of the board is vision, overall direction, setting priorities, and policy. The responsibility for carrying out this work and managing the system is the role of senior management. Working together, board and management strive to provide education services that lead to student success. Joan Beck was fond of talking about the child in the middle. I see that child at the center of everything the board does and every decision it makes. If the board can keep that at the forefront, everything else will fall into place. You will hear tonight about fresh perspectives and new ways of doing things. And good as that may sound, what the board needs to do is already very clear. Focus on education and student achievement, putting the child at the center, understanding mandate and role, respectful and professional conduct, and on finding common ground that supports working together and building a sense of joint accomplishment. The third major component of the Auditor General's report deals with long-term planning. When on the board, I consistently advocated for better alignment of educational goals, organizational goals, and financial resources. I welcome this recommendation and the actions set out in the board's plan. Another priority for the board has to be the overcrowding of schools on the Willoughby Slope. With the implementation of full-day kindergarten across the district, this situation will become even more critical. The new school coming online in 2012 will help, but it isn't enough, and will not do nothing to address capacity in the high school. The Willoughby community has asked the board for a middle school. A middle school will take pressure off both the elementary schools and the high school. The board has put a middle school for the slope at the top of its capital plan, but there has been no commitment from the ministry to approve and move ahead with this project. I will do my best to work with fellow trustees and management to come up with creative ideas and to put pressure on the ministry to move this forward immediately. The district has a number of unused assets currently frozen by ministry policy. Perhaps there is a way to negotiate sale of some of those assets to offset the cost of the new school. Finally, I want to find common ground among trustees. Most decisions made by the board are not contentious, and areas of agreement outnumber areas of dissent. I want to focus on the agreement part. There is already a plan in place for an education forum to be held in the spring. I asked for such a forum just before I left the board, and I'm glad to see that it's going to happen. This is something the entire board can support and work together on. It will also be a valuable vehicle for communicating with the public, sharing and receiving information that will help inform strategic planning. A new area that I'm quite excited about is neighborhoods of learning. I've long been an advocate of community schools, and this is a move in that direction. The new Yorkson School will have 15% of its space dedicated to community use. The board, to its credit, has already applied with the Township of Langley for a grant to conduct a community process around how the community wants to use the space. I know at least one other trustee is passionate about community schools, and I see this as an area with huge potential for finding common ground and working together. The next 11 months will not be easy, but what needs to be done and how to do it is clear. Stick to the priorities, stay focused on the mandate of the board, adhere to basic standards of respectful and professional conduct, find common ground and focusing on the positive, and keep the children at the center of everything the board does. I always have and always will do exactly that. I hope you will give me your vote on January 15th. Thank you.